Okay, so as we see, P is a complement and backing up J. The priestly text is backing up the Yahwehist and defending it. Uh, Now remember, uh, there was J and E first, and then they were combined. And then later came P, and then after P came D. So P is defending J, and D is defending E. In E, it's Moses is the hero, and it doesn't really the the patriarchs aren't really talked about. J, the patriarchs are constantly talked about, and Moses is belittled. Whenever Moses is talked about with J, it's always with Aaron. Moses and Aaron. With E, it's Moses and the elders, and Aaron's not really involved. But Aaron is still the high priest. There's an incident with the golden calf where Aaron says, "These are your gods." Singular calf, gods. Why? Because northern Israel had molten bulls, and uh, the southern kingdom of Judah, with its temple, had molten cherubim. Now, it's speculated by many proponents of the documentary hypothesis that that is a condemnation of both the cherubim and the bulls. That those were their gods. That they were actually worshiping, with the ritual. They weren't worshiping God G-D, the existing one, the I am. It's very clearly that look at J with its basically very paganized Judaism, calling Yahweh as if that's the name of God. E does not call God Yahweh until the explanation of what the name means, and then it uses it very sparsely and it explains. Elohim is the God. This is the God I believe in. Is El. El is my God. Elohim. Uh, that's the God of E. That's the God of D. Yahwehists. Yahweh is their God, their national God that's concerned about the Jews, and that's it. And Yahweh is the God of the priests with the rituals and everything like that. And I can show you. This was actually the part of. This was the numbers part. This was P. Look how the stories intercut. Now, when I read those parts before, they were continuous. There was no breakage in them. They were continuous. The water from the rock parts. But you see how the Torah is laid out? Green is E, pink is J, and yellow is P. Now orange over here, that's the redactor. That's the commentary. We go through when dealing with Moses, green is always on top. The J writer didn't like mentioning Moses a lot. Now when we get to the laws and rituals, I didn't even want to use up all the markers. See all these laws that were inserted after the Ten Commandments? That's priestly stuff. Now, the Talmud goes to great lengths to say that these were never practiced. Well, why would it do that? It's because they weren't. The people traveling in the wilderness never heard of any of this stuff. These were rituals made up after. Moses killed somebody because he carried wood. No. See? I didn't even want to waste the marker. Leviticus, I didn't even wind up. Is this Leviticus? No, this is still Numbers. Leviticus, I didn't even wind up marking because it's all P. Look at that. See, Leviticus, there's not a highlighted thing in here because it's all P. Now when we get to Exodus, Yep. More E, more green. And then you've got all this filler of P in between. Laws, laws, sundry laws, laws of doing this, laws of doing that. More laws, and oh! We get to actual story narrative about Moses, and it's all green. And who is it? It's Moses with the elders, not with Aaron. And it's funny, the golden calf thing. Moses, God says, you know what? I'm going to kill everybody, and I'm going to restart the race with you. You're going to be the blessed one. Moses intercedes, says no. And the fault falls on Aaron, because he's the one that commanded everybody to start killing the apostates, the heretics. And the Levites were just doing what Aaron said. The blood falls on Aaron's hands. Aaron's the one that corrected. So these are our gods. And the reader of these texts, from when the time when they were written, would realize that this refers to Jeroboam, or Jeroboam, or however you pronounce it. Of that, all this priestly crap. This is the culmination of it. Two rivaling temples with these rituals that they're concerned on. E's not concerned with ritual. Go to talk to God directly. Either is D. That's why D writes a whole nother book called Deuteronomy, summarizes it up. The lost scroll that Josiah found, was it a copy of EJ? Or was it something else? And Jeremiah, or the Deuteronomist, put it together in the book of Deuteronomy. Some people say it was the book of Deuteronomy. But I just wanted to mention these few things. Peace to you. I'm surprised how long this video is. Probably not even going to upload. This is Yusuf at JohnTheHutDweller, just trying to get a little bit of insight into the documentary hypothesis. If you know the documentary hypothesis, when the atheists come at you with the Bible is the Word of God, they're just ex-fundamentalist Christians. I don't mean that against all atheists, but there's these YouTube atheists that take no time to study any religion, any of the texts, and say, well, since I know an argument against Protestant Christianity, it'll hold up against everybody. The Taoists, the Buddhists, the Eastern Orthodox. This is what Bill Zubab said. I hate to keep bringing him up, but he is the total epitome, the total caricature of the uneducated jackass who just wants to go out and start fights and pick fights, even when you agree with him. Even when, hey, I love your video. I mean, look at the first video I made to him. Hey, the video's like, and he still had to contend with me. I saw a video titled by him saying that I was low life trash. I didn't even bother watching it. But I mean, what type of person does stuff like that? It's ridiculous. To understand literature, Western civilization, how we got here, what the Bible's about, and if you want to dismantle evangelicals, look at documentary hypothesis. It'll give you a good insight into history. This is the oldest book that we have. Sure, they can dig clay tablets out of the ground and claim that they're very old and all this kind of stuff. But as a continual manuscript affecting civilization after civilization, that's the book. And it's many books stitched together. It didn't fall out of heaven like the Quran or the golden plates of Joseph Smith. It was written by men with different perspectives, different needs, different views. And that's what makes it strong and beautiful. And that's how you can hear the voice of the existing one throughout history. How men felt, how they viewed the divine, the illuminated, the luminous, and what they thought about it. Peace to you. This is Yusuf at JohnTheHutDweller. Stay warm.